Hi, I'm going to let you join in a little advertisement, perhaps, or thought. And it's a story that is just a load of words. It's philosophical, questioning, and it's there for those that are listening. Learn personal genius. What next? This is an aside, but there's a video out there with this guy who just constantly keeps repeating the same thing. It might be from a film. I need help with that, to find that. He says, and what next? 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 Returning to the story. What next? Learn personal genius. Learn to live in an intention-filled world where everything has an intention, full of intentions that world contains. Intentions for you, to love you, protect you, keep you safe. Keep an invisible bargain, a social contract that nobody has signed. There's uproar in the mist, dissent, people beginning to say no. And so this descent into a world with intentions hidden. Even we can't see them. The ones behind of us, guiding us. These make-believe worlds of fairies and entities, of trauma and pain and suffering, of not being able to get that what you longed to get when you were a child. That child you never got to be. And the pains shout louder, higher. Pains shout higher. Pains shout higher. What is that, a statement? An order? A directive? Or just pains shout higher? They shout, if you can get that. Pains are calling us. We've got very good at ignoring those pains, of following through. We don't. I don't have time to feel those pains. I have so many things to do. Why would I want to feel pain? Well, at some point you will. Why not do it now? It's a little bit more gentle if you do it now. It can be even enjoyable. What? Enjoy pain? Well, it's just an experience and it's gonna pass, and it's just like that bird just passing through, wanting to be experienced. I want to share not these pains because they're all there. It's just flipped. Whatever strong is in this world, it's in intensity. It's something holding tension. It's not nothing, it's something. And it's shouting, it's calling, and there's so much calling. They yearn for attention. They yearn for attention, to see them, listen to us. And it's that ability, my intention for this, as I called it, an advertisement, a long one. Are we not all the time advertising ourselves with an intention to share something that needs to be shared, not just for you? They shout the pain. They yearn for an intention. They yearn for attention. And it is you that creates this intention. When you feel it, to feel it and passing through, become more adept, more able to walk through metaphorically, to know that this thing that feels like it's been going on since time began, this perpetual thing, this constant, never ending, endless thing, that this too will pass. And we can begin to control in the most subtlest way. We can begin to take control, to allow that experience in, to surrender to that experience, and to choose that experience is control. To choose to let go, to go deeper, to become more expressive, to embody characters that are much further from your persona, and that the culture around can tolerate, to find those edges, to find those boundaries to which this is allowed and this is not allowed. Playing with this, fooling with this. These are intentions. I let them go. They may form part of something if we put our intention into that, and we are ready to go there together. And going back to what next, what next, and what next, what next. I'm going to keep reading here because you wield a very convincing story, narrative. We cannot be all places at one time. So we splinter off into parts and become contrasts. Old story, new story. Old story, new story. The elusive, just out of one's fingertips. When to give up on it, to let it go. How many lifetimes, how many lives in this life, living the same pattern, the same behavior. These are impersonal behaviors. They're not ours to keep. They are the lifetimes that I spoke about. How many lives have you lived in this life? How many times have you changed? I've never changed. Oh yeah? What about that time when you were 7 and they came back and said, your dog is gone? Oh, I don't know. I can't remember that far back. Maybe I've changed. But it's too hard to change now. I've just known this thing for all the time. It's what I know. I don't know anything else. And what about when you die? Can't face that. Too attached to this world. I'm very afraid of that. I'm just afraid of that. What? Why would you be afraid of that? There's been an increase of suffering as you progress, if that's the word, in this world. The pain has kind of got to a stage where it's okay to go. I love this being I've created, this character. He's not always liked or loved, but he's me. He's beautiful. Are you scared now? No. If I'm a flower petal or a bee, if I'm a magnolia or a stone, I will be everything that's alive, that's vibrant, and I will have a character. There will be more than stories outside of the human consciousness space thing, where they have this sense of a shared story between them all. And then others have dotted around, have stories that are in conflict. There'll be stories of richness of love and connection and poverty of connection, love, none of that. There will be richness of material things. There will be poverty. There'll be unfairness. And the idea of what is fair. An ever moving thing, like all these things. And in the flower, in the magnolia, I will be. I'll be in the hawthorn too. Has no smell. So yeah, that story. What next? Doesn't really want to stop, it just wants to continue. And so what are the main points? Because we really struggle with the capacity to have attention, to to have intention and to hold intention. Maybe you're watching this on social media. Maybe you're watching it on a phone, brought into this stupor by a bird flying through the sky, clouds, dark ones above, light ones below, a constantly moving, evolving space that becomes boring, routine, and monotonous. Welcoming monotony, slowing down. I used to have a monotonous kind of life. In a way, that life was, there was something to look forward to. There was all this monotony and boredom and routine and sameness. And then in the future, there was this night out, holiday. There was this idea that someday I just have to get through this moment. I just have to get through this now. And what next? And what next? And what next? This is what is in my world right now. Because ever since I let go of that monotony, of that world that was looking to something in the future, a holiday, drink, when I let go of that, I discovered a world where there is Dave. Hey!